What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. And a couple months ago I did WWE Top 10 Wrestlers John Cena buried. But let's talk about the king of burying today, and that's Triple H. Let's talk about the WWE Top 10 Wrestlers Triple H buried this time. Number 10, Randy Orton. Clearly, Randy Orton is a future Hall of Famer and probably one of the biggest names in wrestling history. But originally, Orton was supposed to be as big as Cena. I feel as if Triple H is the reason that never happened. The closest he was to achieving top level status like that was his feud with Triple H during WrestleMania 25. Orton was on fire as a heel. He kissed Stephanie McMahon in front of Triple H, and he also punted Vince McMahon. So now comes WrestleMania 25, and the main event is Triple H versus Randy Orton for the WWE title. Orton winning at WrestleMania would have been so impactful instead of Hunter dropping it to him at the next pay-per-view. Why? Because he didn't want to lose a big Mania match. Number 9, Chyna. The difference between everybody on this list with Chyna is she is the only one on the list to have a relationship with Triple H, and this gets really personal. After dating Chyna for many years, the WWE thought it was best for a love storyline between Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. The only problem was that the two actually started to love each other, and Triple H started to cheat on Chyna. A little after she found out, Vince McMahon didn't even talk to her for a contract extension, and they just let her go. Fast forward a couple years after all this, and she made some bad choices in life, and it all started with Hunter cheating on her. Number 8, Brian Kendrick and Paul London. You can put these two guys on a list of the most underrated wrestlers the WWE never capitalized on. They did have one of the longest reigns as tag champions, but after that ended, they kinda weren't doing anything. Later that year, they got drafted to Raw, but they weren't in any good storylines. The biggest thing to happen to them on Raw was when they saved Triple H from a beatdown of 3 heel wrestlers. Usually when this happens, either the faces just look strong, or we get a 6-man tag match. Which one of those happened? None. Triple H hits them both with pedigrees. Both men have interviews and shoots towards the WWE saying that it was then and there when they realized they were going to be unsuccessful in the WWE. So basically Triple H buried these guys because they helped him. I don't get it. Number 7, Umaga. Umaga somehow went on to become a dominant heel during a time where it seemed impossible. He became a credible wrestler who even contended for the WWE title. Only problem was that the man he faced for the title buried him. Once Cena and Umaga's feud was over, guess who returned to feud with Umaga? Yep, the game, Triple H. But the way Umaga was booked was to make others look vulnerable against him. There was no way Triple H was going to look weak against Umaga. That was the first mistake of this feud. The second mistake was letting Triple H win all 3 of the matches they had. Number 6, RVD. The original brand split was very weird. On SmackDown, you had a lot of young guys developing into great superstars, while on Raw, Triple H would beat any young star who was starting to get over. RVD was the only exception because fans were in love with this guy. They loved his chill personality and his in-ring skills. In 2002 at the Unforgiven pay-per-view, it was a huge match for RVD. It was going to define if RVD would become a main eventer or not. Triple H beat him, and RVD was sent down to the mid-card for years to come. Once he was finally the WWE champion a few years later, he would let drugs stop his run as champion. Number 5, Scott Steiner. When the first brand split happened, the WWE brought many guys from WCW. Steiner was brought to be a top face, and it was pretty easy because he was put in a feud with Triple H, who was a top heel. Steiner made his debut in 2002 at Survivor Series in MSG. He got a massive pop from the crowd. It seemed as if he was extremely over, and a feud with Hunter completely killed that. Their feud was so boring, they had an arm wrestle match. Like how much worse can you get? But their matches were even worse. In recent shoots from Steiner, he does say he thinks Triple H made him look bad on purpose. They had 2 matches and Hunter went over in both. Number 4, Goldberg. Our next WCW wrestler, or also known as victim, who was buried from Triple H is Goldberg. These two already had real life hatred for each other before their feud. They would talk shit about each other in interviews during the ending of Monday Night Wars. Triple H once said that Goldberg had no heart and passion for the business. Fast forward a couple years later, and Goldberg made his WWE debut with a huge push. Goldberg lost his first world title match in the Elimination Chamber match when Hunter used a sledgehammer to win the match, and fans kinda got over Goldberg really quickly. Number 3, CM Punk. CM Punk, after his pipe bomb, was straight fire. Whatever came out of his mouth was listened to, and any feud he was involved in was great. Once Triple H and Punk had their feud, it was a great feud, but the ending to their match was just stupid. At Night of Champions in 2011, they had a one-on-one no DQ match. R-Truth and The Miz beat them both up during the ending, and as soon as Triple H gets up, he hits Punk with the pedigree and wins the match. So basically, Hunter comes out of retirement just to beat CM Punk, which makes no sense because CM Punk would have so much momentum if he beat Triple H. Punk does believe that he tried to sabotage him and bury him. Number 2, Sting. Sting was one of the biggest stars in WCW history. When WCW was bought out by the WWE, Sting wanted no part in selling out to the WWE. Instead, he went to TNA for a while. It wasn't until Sting finally decided it was time to come to the WWE in 2014. Survivor Series 2014 was a big debut where Sting started his feud with none other than the Game, Triple H. WrestleMania 31 was a huge match where was Sting's first Mania. Sure, you would have thought that Triple H would put him over. No, he pinned him with the help of DX, and WCW couldn't even handle DX. To me, this is WWE laughing at WCW and the NWO and a slap to their face. Unfortunately, Sting is retired and will have a WWE record of 0-2. Number 1, Booker T. One of the most controversial moments in WWE history is this. There are many reasons as to why Booker T didn't win the world title at WrestleMania 19. Booker T was the most over wrestler in the WWE at the time, and he had the biggest match of his life, and it was at one of the best WrestleManias of all time as well. Whether it was Triple H's ego or the company's racism that didn't allow Booker to win the title, it was evident that he was buried and he lost the match that would have made him a top star. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe for more, and comment down what top 10 you want to see next, guys. Thanks again, take care, and spike your hair.